Contemporary Cultural Criticism in Public Anthropology. So in this lecture, we just want to explore three very basic questions. What is a problem-based approach to cultural anthropology? What is cultural criticism? What is public anthropology? So a problem-based approach, let's just start here. When we're talking about a problem-based approach to cultural anthropology, we mean focusing on specific real-world issues or problems rather than studying cultures generally, rather than studying cultures, let's say, as a stand-in for ethnicities or ethnic groups. So the goal here is to identify problems that are relevant to particular cultures, particular communities, particular societies, such as environmental sustainability, disease and illness, political inequalities, or poverty. Just some basic examples of the problems that cultural anthropologists may focus on. This approach really encourages anthropologists to work with communities rather than seeing them simply as an object of their study or research. It encourages us to work with them and makes really anthropology relevant and useful for real-world applications, as well as relevant and useful to those communities themselves. Cultural criticism is an allied concept. It means that cultural anthropologists analyze cultural phenomena to reveal inequality, oppression, and other problems. So the goal isn't simply to describe a culture in an objective sense, but to think about how to analyze culture in a way that reveals these kinds of problems and makes them amenable to solutions and to change. In this sense, then, anthropology becomes a tool for critique, right? It becomes a tool to make visible problems like inequality. Like a problem-based approach to anthropology, it involves allying with individuals and communities, not bringing a sense of the problem to them, but working with individuals and communities who themselves identify problems, and then working together with them to identify potential solutions. Finally, public anthropology. Public anthropology is a related concept. Public anthropology wants to make anthropology accessible. It wants to improve the ability of anthropology to contribute to public understanding. They want to advocate for change and use cultural critique to do so. Notably, public anthropologists go beyond simple forms of academic writing and pursue diverse forms of public engagement that can include writing, but many non-traditional forms of writing, but it can also include much more activity beyond the written word. It can include activism, formulation of policies, and the creation of projects of social and cultural change. So to conclude here, three important concepts for this course. A problem-based approach to cultural anthropology involves this focus on specific real-world issues or problems. Anthropologists analyze cultural phenomena in a critical way to reveal these problems that individuals and community themselves have identified. And public anthropology is this related attempt to make these kinds of critique accessible and useful to society generally, rather than just science or academia.